His name was. I laughed because he was. Let me restart the replay. This is probably the one that I lost. I won 2 out of 3, I believe, on him. It's KYVLEX was his name. His fighter ID or whatever. I'm gonna run the replay. I don't know what the hell. He must be Russian or something. But yeah, he was Russian, all right. Russian to take a loss. He must have been Russian. Yeah, he was Russian, all right. He was Russian, all right. Russian to take a loss. But anyway, his name is KYVLEX. I don't know how to pronounce that. Kyvlex? I don't know. But I noticed ever since I switched to, like on crunch counter, ever since I switched to standing fierce punch, standing hard punch, into command dash, into standing hard punch, into EX, fireball if I have it, into another standing hard punch, I've noticed ever since I changed to that 3 hard punch counter, I've been winning a lot more. Like I've been, because normally in that situation I would always go standing hard kick and just go for the basic combo. But what I noticed is that not only a lot of times does the hard kick not get there in time. That's the most disappointing thing of all, is when you go for standing hard kick and it doesn't get there on time. You miss a huge opportunity. And Laura's the kind of character that you really need to capitalize on those opportunities. I'm not going to deny that I didn't think he was a bad Vega player. Now I do, after he rage quit. At the end, he literally waited for the last second that he saw the log, and he quit. I knew he was going for that the whole match. He has a command grab on the ground that he can only do when he puts his claw away. So when you see him spin, assume that when you're seeing him spin like that, he's almost certainly going to go for a command grab. Because any Vega player would choose range over the command grab, because with the range alone, it makes him more dangerous on the ground for sure. Like, I think that was the right move for him to have the command grab on the ground. I think if he regularly had that command grab on the ground, I think he'd be like the perfect all-around character. But, would it suck for guys like me? Yeah, of course, it would suck for everybody. But, I believe he needs that. I believe he needs that, though. I think that was the right move. They've been making this game better and better every time. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and say that the entire game is trash. No, it's not. I just, there's certain instances where I feel like a player should have to be good. And that's what I want to change. They were up to me. And in fact, Capcom Japan has been listening to me a lot more than I thought they would. And that actually makes me love them even more. To be honest. I love their games. I love their fighting games. I'm like probably one of the biggest fans here in the United States. You know what I'm saying? I've been thought their games are hilarious. They're so funny. You know what I'm saying? Their sense of humor is hilarious. They put stuff in the game that makes you laugh to this very day. Like when Hugo gets knocked out in Street Fighter 4, and he goes, "Mama!" That's fucking hilarious, bro. I don't care what anyone says. A guy that big singing out for his mom, that's brilliant. If you can't see how funny that is, I don't know. I guess there's nothing wrong with you, but I find that fucking hilarious. Because the character's about like 7'6". Gotta be at least 500 pounds. And when you knock him out, he's crying out for his mom.
Round 1. Fight.
So yeah, this is the player that quit on me. So anytime a player quits on me like that, basically I'm gonna just put their gamer tag out there so that people know. If you want to join the bandwagon and just block them, so that anytime they try to play people online, they don't get to play against any of us, because we're taking our wins and losses like real players should. But players like him, they try to go online. If everyone blocks them, then they're either gonna have to make a new gamer tag, which they probably will, probably choose a whole new character color, which is gonna be so. You know, they're gonna probably go through all that. I'm not gonna do all that. I'm taking my wins. I'm taking my losses, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you run into laggy games, like I said. Sometimes I don't like the stages or the character colors that they pick. It happens, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wish tournaments at least allowed you to, you know, agree or disagree to a certain thing. Like if they see that someone's picking, you know, red headband Ryu with a gray outfit on the gray and red train stage, like the tournament organizer has to go, hey, look, no. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to pick like red Ryu or something, or you know, maybe not the same color that I do, but like, you know, blue Ryu or something. I don't know what the fuck you would pick, but you get what I'm saying though, because it's really unfair to the competition to deal with like an idiot that's pretending to be good and trying to win off of a technicality that you know could just be easily fixed, you know. But yeah, Street Fighter 6, man. You know, I love Street Fighter. I've been talking a lot of shit. I'm most certainly gonna get the game. The graphics look incredible. You know, the graphics look better than ever before. The game keeps getting better and better every time. I don't like that Blanca has those little dolls. I'm not gonna lie. I think Blanca's pretty fucking good without that shit. I think with those dolls, Blanca's gonna be one of the best fucking characters in the game now. And I think Dawson having the fucking air fireball. Can he teleport after the air fireball? Can we give him one action per air? Can we limit him to one action in the air? Is that possible? Because I feel like he's going to do air fireball, fucking air teleport. You know what I mean? Poor Zangief. Poor Zangief. Zangief has no chance against this new Street Fighter 6 Dawson. Poor Zangief, man. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna throw air fireballs out the wazoo. It's over for Zangief, man. Nah, bro, but yeah, like I'm having a lot of fun playing right now. You know, like I said, I don't agree with everything. I just feel at point blank range. You know, at point blank range. You know, I'm cool with it. I understand. I can make the adjustments. Like right now, I'm only playing the way I'm playing because the game allows it. And in a way, I think in a way that the reason why they make it like that is that so that it can have some variety in offense. You know what I mean? Otherwise, the game becomes like real one-dimensional. I think that's the real reason they do it the way they do it. But for Christ's sakes, the overheads have to be safe on block. The overhead has to be safe on block, though. That's crazy. I don't know why you guys decided to make the overheads unsafe on block. That's very, very unfair. A lot of them are, I feel. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And also, some of them some of the characters can combo out of their overhead. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Ryu in the first Street Fighter V could actually do his overhead into V-trigger, into EX uppercut, and combo that. And I was like one of the first players doing it. I'm almost positive. I'm almost positive that worked in the first season. But like I said, if they remove the parry from Street Fighter altogether, but they bring that universal overhead and also make the overheads a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? I feel like some of the characters that don't combo their overhead should be able to combo their overhead. For example, like Sagat. You know what I'm saying? I think that makes a huge difference. I think that's going to be the game changers when all these characters not only can have overheads they can rely on consistently, but overheads that they could combo as well. I think that's going to really be the game changer. Now, don't get me wrong, like Street Fighter 3, Universal Overhead, you could combo Super, but you could not combo anything else. As far as I remember, you could not combo anything else. Maybe an EX uppercut, I might be wrong about that. I'm almost positive that was only supers. But not every character could do it, though. Like, some supers just weren't comboable, but not only that, some supers, like, for example, I can't think of a real good example, but like, if they made it a little bit easier, the way it was in Third Strike, you know how the Universal Overhead hit on Third Strike? I felt like you had to be, like, at the furthest range that it could possibly be for it to actually combo. I feel like it hit at any distance as long as it hits, and you should be able to get an easy combo after it. And also the jab, standing jab, and crouching jab into medium punch or medium kick should be a way easier combo. I feel like once they make those changes, controller players are going to completely dominate Street Fighter like they always should have. The biggest problem with Street Fighter, in my opinion, was that the game was always too damn difficult. It wasn't that it wasn't fun. It was just more difficult than it should have been from the very beginning. You know what I mean? But I feel like now it's getting better and better and getting way easier to do combos that normally controller players, with the exception of myself, could never do. Now it's becoming a regular thing that everyone could do them. And you know what's going to happen? The prize pools are going to get bigger, which is good for a lot of these tournament players. It's just going to make everything better. You know what I'm saying? I feel like for tournament mode, though, the simple mode should not be allowed in tournament mode. Like, if you're playing competitively, you know, in a way, I kind of feel like it's an unfair advantage, especially compared to someone that's playing normally like I am. Because I'm not going to use the new mode at all. I know how to combo into super. I know how to combo into special moves. I know how to do all that shit. I've been known how to do that shit. I was doing that shit in Street Fighter, you know, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's nothing new to me, but, you know what I'm saying? I do love Street Fighter. I do get up, like, I'm not saying I'll get upset, but, like, I do disagree with like, shit like that. Because, like, on counter hit, I feel like counter hit, jab into medium punch is not that difficult. But I feel like it could even be easier than that. But, like, in a way, I understand kind of why they do it. Because, you know, it gives that throw possibility. That scare of the throw possibility is there. Could you imagine every time someone got thrown, it led into a combo? Do you know how many scrubs would think they were Street Fighter gods? Do you know how many scrubs would think they were Street Fighter gods? I say that the command grab characters have to combo their command grab. In my opinion, I think Zangief should have to combo change his command grab to a half circle. Change his command grab to a half circle, right? But he has to combo it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really gonna make it so that players that are deserve to win, which it also should be about. In the competitive scene of things, the players that deserve to win should win. In like, you know, the general audience that everyone plays it, they're playing, my sisters play, whatever, anyone that plays the game, that decides to play the game, you know, a female picks up the game for the first time, picks simple mode, and is landing combos into super. That's awesome. You know what I mean? She's having fun at her house or whatever. She's enjoying the game the way it should be at home. You know what I'm saying? It should be a game that anyone could pick up and play and enjoy and have fun with. Because this game really is amazing. At the core of the creativity is a 10 out of 10. The creativity is perfect. The comedy is perfect. The artistic, you know, talent that these artists have in Japan, perfect. The one thing that keeps this game from being the perfect 10 out of 10 is the fact that the game, in my opinion, was a little bit too difficult for a lot of the general audience. Like, the average player that's like, oh, you know, people are talking about Street Fighter, let me try it out. They're going to quit because it was too hard for them to get better. It was too hard for them to compete. Whereas I feel like the game just keeps getting better, and now I feel like everyone can compete now. And that's the way it should be. And I love it because these new guys are constantly trying to go for the dudes that been on top. There's dudes that have been on top that are legends in the game. You know what I'm saying? That have been playing the game, doing the amazing combos, you know, in games that were outrageously difficult for even me to do. I'm talking about like Alpha 3 Vism is not easy. I wish they would update Alpha 3 and make the Vism combos a little bit easier for a guy like me. You know what I'm saying? Those combos are not easy in that game, but it essentially becomes a whole new game when you do that. But I think the main difference was that back then, the players that really knew how to use joysticks had a huge advantage in those older games. because the timing was so difficult that it really took a joystick and really mashing on those buttons and hoping it comes out because the game was so difficult that now you don't really have to do that anymore. Now I feel like the controller players are going to be the big legends in the game now. And that's awesome for the franchise. That's awesome for the company. The last thing I want to do is for them to stop making Street Fighter games altogether, because I love Street Fighter. But I don't agree with all of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with all of it. I think in all fairness, you know, in those situations where players are missing and still being able to really capitalize and stuff like that, you know, I could have got the win there. You know what I'm saying? It's the difference between winning and losing a lot of the times in these situations, where if you just made it the right way, the way it should be, and you made it fair, like for example, Sagat's Tiger Knee, which is completely unfair for no reason. If you just made it fair, I would have won a lot of those matches against those scrubbed Sagat players that think they're gods when they're not. They're just trash. And it's not my fault they're trash. They're trash because they suck. But you're allowing them as game developers to think that they're good, and I can't stand that. Because I know that I'm good. I know that I'm good. And I can't stand that a player like that even tries to compete. Because it's not fair for the players that really do deserve to win, because they do play in the proper way, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, you know, I think the game keeps getting better. I just want to show the replay and, like, you know, the game keeps getting better, man. I'm hoping that the Street Fighter, I already have faith that Street Fighter 6 is gonna be better than this. You know what I'm saying? And this game, like if it was like Laura character really made it for me. You know what I'm saying? And I love the way they did Ken. I think that was a huge. I think that was huge for the game. Ken really needed that. Another thing, Ken's hard kick spin kick. Ken's hard kick spin kick on block should be easier for every character to counter. On block, unless he completely misses the hard kick. Like my suggestion is when a player sees the hard kick spin kick coming, just backdash. Because if you backdash or jump away, he'll land out of range and you could counter him. But like it's like I feel like offline I will counter him every time. But like online, that hard kick fucking spin kick is fucking God's here, man. That shit is God's here. I don't know about everyone else, bro, but I feel like that shit is God's here, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't do nothing about it. Like you if you're not anti-airing properly, like if you miss your anti-air a little bit, he's gonna like clobber you. He's gonna kick you like 4 times because of that shit. So it's like outrageous, man. But I'm just saying, like it's supposed to be anti-projectile. So if he just does it and I block it, I should counter Ken. You know, like I lost matches because of that. Because a player that has no talent whatsoever is doing a throw. You know what I mean? I block it, you know, and then he does EX uppercut. You know what I'm saying? And that's a very difficult situation to get out of. That's why I say just make the game fair. Because we all understand there's a purpose and a reason for all these moves. In fact, I understand even furthermore why the original developers of this game made the moves why they did. The reason why they make it half circle back is so that if you're wrong, you get countered instead of you countering them. This is the brilliance of the Japanese game development team. I'm finally realizing why they make it the way they do. They made a brilliant strategic fighting game if you really pay attention to what you have to do to make it happen. In all fairness, I think the joystick players would love to have those rolling motions, like that half circle forward, half circle back, quarter circle forward, quarter circle back. I don't think the joystick players really like that Dragon Punch motion too much. I know they did make the easy version of the Dragon Punch motion, which is just like in between down and forward twice. Like in between the forward and down direction, if you just hit diagonally in between those two directions twice and press punch, you'll get an easy uppercut. They changed it ever since Street Fighter 4, you know what I mean? They changed it ever since Street Fighter 4. I forget what dude's channel that I seen that on that he showed that. But I remember people saying that even back in Street Fighter 4 when Street Fighter 4 was popular. I never used that motion because I'm already programmed to do the real motion ever since Street Fighter 2. So I've already programmed that in my head how to do it right. So I can't go to anything else anymore. You know what I'm saying? But for like the new players that don't know what the hell they're doing and want a quick way of thinking they're good, there's your answer right there. You know what I'm saying? Is it gonna matter against someone like me? Probably not. But like, good luck trying. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, what was I gonna say? Yeah, no. The game keeps getting better, man. Like for example, E Honda. If joystick players prefer to use the rapid kick or rapid punch for E Honda, okay, you know, I feel like it's way harder to combo that, but like, if they're wrong, they have to be wrong. It's not fair that a lot of these charge characters are getting away with being wrong. You know what you should do is change the motion from back to forward quickly without a charge. Without a charge, just back forward punch, back forward kick. Whatever the motion is, you know, to do the Balrog thing, you know, the Balrog charge punch, just take away the charge from it. Now they have to be right, you know what I'm saying? You know, like I said, I personally think it's really unfair, at least at point blank range, like when characters are comboing, like within that combo range, like even Guile should have to be able to be right. Like, why can't Guile do crouching medium kick into Sonic Boom? Why can't Guile do crouching medium kick into flash kick? You know what I'm saying? Like, as his combos. Like, I understand what you guys are trying to do. You're trying to give them target combos. But you know what happens when you start giving them target combos? They start to have an unfair advantage, in my opinion, against other characters. Because those target combos are way easier to do than a character like me. You know, no, my character actually has target combos, though. You know, what's a good example of someone who really doesn't have any? I believe a lot of the charge characters do have them. I'll leave it at that. You know what you guys know what the hell you're doing. I'm just saying when it comes to like comboing and stuff, I think there should be a little bit more recovery time to counter them. And I think really everyone will understand that. Once you do that, I think you're really gonna have the perfect game. At least at point blank range. At point blank range, I feel like characters should have to. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's part of the fun of the game, is that intensity of those moments, you know what I mean? But yeah, I really do I talk a lot of shit, and it's mainly because when I'm a sore loser. I'm a sore loser, I'm not gonna lie, but I think everyone really is. So but basically, you know, I do really look forward to 6, Street Fighter 6. And all the new fighting games coming out. I'm really happy that they're all coming out this year. I'm actually a little overwhelmed that they're coming out all at the same time, because I don't know where I'm gonna sink my teeth in the most. I'm gonna have to put like a weekly schedule where it's like Street Fighter Sunday, Mortal Kombat Monday, whatever the day starts, Tekken Tuesday. Wednesday kind of looks like the beginning of a, if you spin the W upside down, it's an M, so I'll do Mortal Kombat Wednesdays. Thursday would be another Tekken. Friday, it's hot, you know, I guess that'll be the Friday will be, you know, I guess, I don't know what the hell Friday would be. Friday's for the bitches or whatever. Saturday is Street Fighter Day, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Saturday's for the bitches. We'll switch Saturday instead of Street Fighter. Friday's Street Fighter. Saturday's bitches days or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna have to balance the 3 because like I'm too big of a fan of all the companies, you know. But like I said, that universal overhead should come back to Street Fighter. I think, in fact, that's better than all that drive impact and all that stuff, but I think it's honestly too late for them to change it. But I think it's going to make it easier for players to have a hard time with the zoning, because I think the zoning is really what keeps players from really wanting to play the game as much as they normally probably would. You know what I'm saying? Like Third Strike had the parry, and I know that, I mean, for like a lot of beginner players that may be too advanced, but if you really understand the concept of it, like, it really made Street Fighter way more fun, because players couldn't just sit there and do what, like, Guile players do, where it's like, Sonic Boom, you have to block it, or, you know, you hop it and he flash kicks you, or he crouching versus you, and then you go right back to the same situation again. In Third Strike, you couldn't do that. In Third Strike, people was on you from the beginning of the match to the end of the match. Third Strike was like two pit bulls fighting. It was two pit bulls fighting. That's what Third Strike was. Now it's like, you know what I'm saying? Now Street Fighter is like two chihuahuas fighting. Like yeah, they probably would eventually fight if you get them close enough. But like a lot of times they're kind of just growling at each other and running away. You know what I mean?